baby pullback just keeps going here.
Looks like we could get the half gap on ES. 89.
It's not that far away.
No.
I mean, we were really close, and that lines up with this 27,280. That's where it's like ideally here. Ideally, if everything in the world's perfect and balanced, we would have a pullback here. Then our fib target up here for that half gap is 88. So if we had our pullback, even retest top of OR here on ES, and then that's our target, and that would line up with NQ also. So just let's see if we get a pullback. If not, we'll see if there's profit taking there, and along with that, that lines up with the next potential leg down. I don't love that we're below the point of control on ES right here on the daily. Other than the fact that we potentially could come down and get our retrace here, which would be nice if that can catch and then push us up to that half gap. There we go, we're just above it again. NQ definitely seems stronger today.
Not really. I mean, off the open, yeah, but
off open
pre-market, it's still below yesterday's low.
Yeah, there's our half pullback right there on ES. That was fast. Yeah, I guess I should say since open it has been behaving stronger. It sold off a lot harder than ES overnight. Definitely. All right, let's see how this behaves here. We're back at the top of OR on ES.
We do have news, just consumer confidence at 10.
Yep, 10 more minutes here. There's our little wick to that half pullback that could push us up to our half gap. You'd almost have to just have a sitting order right there if that's what you were looking to play. We never got that on NQ. I'd still like to see this. It most likely will come down to 80 here if we break that 212 again. All right, looking for this to kind of come down to 80. It might just break right through 80, honestly, the way this is kind of looking. But if we get some buyers stepping in and this holds 80, this could be a nice opportunity to catch the next leg up, potentially here. We are halfway back on ES. So I have to see this hold 80 here, and really 70. If we break through, there's downside. ES is sitting right in that golden pocket here. I wouldn't be opposed to a long on ES at this point. You know what we're gonna do here? I am gonna take a long. This is looking all right. If it doesn't work, it'll be quick here. We're just gonna do stop loss top of OR at 57 here. I'm in at 90. Buyers are stepping in. If this breaks 70, she'll flush. So this is kind of the line in the sand point for me. And if this doesn't work, then we'll start looking short as we break back below the OR. But this looks like it could hold here. We'll take that first one off at 230, so it'll be about 40 points on that one. I'm actually going to move it down just a little bit because of the point of control. And then we'll be looking for 270, 280 on this next one for this fib to complete. So stops are at 157. Nope, she's flushing. Let's see. Nope, we're out. Okay, close those guys. We didn't get bottom ticked out, I hope. Kind of bottom of OR on ES, kind of double bottom here. From the session open, there's a lot of room down from the overnight here. Next stop on NQ will be 25. We got 707.
You went long?
Looking at it, this is just coming down. I did go long here at that. We were just beyond the halfway back. Yeah, no, I haven't gone long again. No. No, just watching how this shapes up. If we are actually gonna get a pullback and then push. Let's see if we draw this out a little bigger time frame. Yeah, we are right at that halfway back. I'm gonna tag back in. This looks good. Here, just two. I'm in at 80 here. Stops are going to be just below that wick there. It's about a 40-point stop, and we're looking for this to go up to 280 still, same as last time. Just 2 micros. That's halfway back on this larger move from the lows here, not just the open. On both ES and NQ. So looking for this to kind of push us towards that half gap. as long as we've got buyers still stepping in, we should be good. Held that 200. That was the top of the OR test right there also. Got our POC right at 220 here. Control up stops if you'd like. There's still room to go here. I'm going to move one of these. You know, I'm going to take one here. We've got a couple sellers stepping in. I'm going to take one here. We're going to tighten up the risk on this last one. We're just going to put it down to 72. Just risk 10 points of profit here. Looking at this, if this is going to leg down, we retested that POC right there, right at that 618, that 707. Saw some sellers stepping in right there at that 215, 220 area. So took risk off. The daily POC on ES just moved down here, so let's see if we can hold that. And let's just do a small time fib there. Smaller time frame. So that was about our halfway back from this last move, if we're counting wicks and everything. See if that holds. Back right at that 200 level here. Got to break 220, then we should go up to about 265. If we can break that 220, still looking for that 280 area, 270, 280 on NQ. It'll be about 100 points there if we can get there. 265 is really that first stop. She just doesn't want to break over this 210, 215 area. We've got sellers sitting there. We've got buyers sitting at 180. So really, we've just got buyers sitting right at our entry here. If that breaks that 180, she'll keep flushing and could see 140s again. And we're out. A little push down here. Should see about 140 if this continues. The thing I don't love about this is if that doesn't hold. Basically, we just retested the daily point of control here, right up that 618. This could push us down to 113 area potentially. Likewise, if the long works out, that was our 618. So. On the flip side of that, you have buyers stepping in at 170 here. I'm going to tag in one more time, just one. We're just going to risk just a little bit here, just one. Put stops at 60. This still looks like it's going to go up to 280. So we're going to break that 210. We keep having buyers step in at this 170 level. 170 and 180. Along with that, this is right at the 200 that held, right at that golden pocket, just wicked that 618. So I like that, and we are holding above the OR. There we go. It's just this 215, 210 to 220 area. So really, I believe if we break through this 220 daily point of control here, we should see that pretty good move up. And that's what we're really contending with right here. Got buyers sitting at 170. Again, we got to break through right here, this 210, 220 area, 225, and we'll be home free. Go up to 65 then. There it goes. All right, we're gonna move our stops up a little bit here, just de-risk. So I'm only risking 10 points here. Really look, I mean, if this can break this point of control, this is a super nice R to R trade. Looking for that 265 area. We'll see over here if we can get that. So, you know, and even 280 is the next stop. So buyers stepping in heavy right there. So let's move this guy up, trail about every 20 or so. We got a little wall to break through at this 240. So it's that balance of giving it enough room to breathe, but not letting a green trade go against us here. So, you know, we've got this little wall at 240. See if we can push through it. And if you like it, just take it. We've seen 35 points. We're at the daily point of control here. This is a point this could reject. But that being said, if we do break through this 250, there's room up. Even this 230, 240 area, there's a lot of room up here. This is completing a fib to go towards that half gap, the London lows. Just above the point of control here. Got to break through this 40-45 area here. Then we're contending with a double top. That's going to be our 45. Break through that, straight to 85. Should be quick if we do. If this rejects and smokes down, if this gives up 210, there's a lot of room down. So I've got my sell stop take profit. I'm at 207 here, just for that reason. It says 240. Yeah, lots of buyers sitting at 215, lots of volume there. Gotta hold this 210. If it doesn't, little flush. We might even retest 200. But this is kind of the distribution I'm looking at on Bookmap here. I'll drag this over so you guys can see. But you can see if we can put, and there we go, out. Damn it. That's all right. And it probably wicked us too. Okay. I'm gonna give that a sec. See how we're sitting on the day. Down a little bit. Give this a sec here. If this breaks that 210, there's room down. So there's no reason to put on more risk, just to get back in this trade. So if this breaks down, we can relook at that. Likewise, if this breaks up and out, we can look for a pullback and then continue if we're looking at longs. Otherwise, if this rejects, back to shorts. Retesting that 200, that 195 area. It's retesting the daily POC over on ES. Break a 195 and we'll see more downward momentum. It's interesting, we got our point of control just above us on NQ. Yes, it's sitting right at OR mid, just below us here. testing that 200 area. I might tag back in on this one. Just two. Lots of sellers stepped away right there, it looks like. So have room up to 55 here. I am going to take that first one up here at 36. Stops here at 83. I'm defending that 200. If that gives up the 200, then it's kind of game over on that. But it looks like there's pretty solid room up to 35 and 55 here. Actually move this first TP to 30 just to de-risk. So we'll take our 20 and then we'll have that runner. Nope. Shoot. Okay. She just gave it up. No more longs. Damn it. Yeah. Don't do it to wick us out either. I hate that when that happens. I think that's what just happened. Back over the point of control on. Yes. Oh, we're gonna watch this thing go now. Let's. See it. That's what she wants to do. just kind of sitting in this little zone here. If this breaks through, there's not a ton of buyers sitting down here all the way down to got almost 155 right now. So really in this range. I mean, this fib is still proving itself. That's the problem. We're getting chopped up in this range, but I still believe we're going to come up to that. Maybe I'm biased right now, but that it hasn't disproved itself. The moves are larger, and so you know, and then this has just been kind of moving sideways and slightly down, but this fib hasn't disproven itself. And so that's where I'm kind of struggling with, like, feel. I don't want to say I feel like, but it's pointing like it would go that direction. We might just be early. You're testing that 200, this kind of 70 area. Again, this 170. Really moving sideways. You know, and we do see this a lot of times before Fed days. I'm just a little surprised that it is such a sideways move in our range after that big sell-off overnight, honestly. I'm kind of coming to the top of that OR right here on NQ, the 60 area. Yeah, coming to the bottom of that OR. Just holding off and being patient here. have some buyers stepping in right here. On the top of OR. See if this thing can hold this 150 area. That's really what they're going to have to do, is hold 150. Otherwise, looks like we may be going down back to 100. This is that halfway back on this move here, and top of OR test on NQ. VIX is coming down, so you know that's usually a sign that we're going to start moving up, but it hasn't been the most reliable the last couple weeks here. We got to hold this 150 here. If we want to move back up and hold this kind of line here. So there's our 150 test. Bottom of OR on ES. We're right at that halfway back from this long draw here. Oh, that's interesting. We break over 160. We could see upside here. If we break under 140, we've got about another 40-50 points of downside. So over this 160, and we should run. Put an order in there at 166, just two. We're in there. All right. Get these stops in real quick. Oops, not another buy. Stops. Stops on this guy, we're gonna have it 37.75. First TP is at 91 here. We're about to almost hit that. Got seller stepping in at 90, so should have had that at 89. I'll own that. So we're actually gonna move this down to 88.5. We'll get tagged there at least. Some more sellers stepping in here. I'm going to take this one here. I'm just going to take my 10 and tighten up this risk here. So I'm going to drag my risk, or my runner, to 46, so risking just less than 20 points. I'm just seeing these sellers step in. If this can still push and this is just a little pullback, I'm fine with that. But I don't want to give back too much here. But if this can go, oh, there's more sellers stepping in here. Let's see. Nope. This may bounce at 40 here. I've got my stop at 46. We do have buyers stepping back in here. VIX coming up though. Break through this 90 and we should see 220 again. I'm gonna pull up first hour levels, but we're right at first hour fair value here. Fair value low right there. So fair value is 205. Fair value high is 47. I would agree with that. If we break that 47, we'll be going up. Sitting right at that fair value low. I mean, if we break this, it is looking down towards like downside target 1-2 area. I mean, down to this 100 area. Got buyers sitting right at 40. I'm actually going to move this to 36, this stop here. This looks good. I'm going to add in my second contract again. So stops are at 35 here. We break back over 60. This looks really good. I'm going to take that add back off at 80. We're going to do 87.50. Then we got room up to 220 if we break that. Let's see if we can break through this point of control here. Got some sellers stepping at 75. We are just sitting on that top of that OR, the top end of that range. Let's see, this thing gonna buyer stepping in at 40. Nope. Nope. See how this shapes up here. I think we just got bottom tipped out. That's what this looks like. this a sec. I want to see if we get down to this 100. Looks like this could hold, but if we, I'm just gonna give this a sec. There it goes, right to 100. Just giving up that 100 here. Let's see. And there's room, a little bit more room actually. Break over 30 and could be good, but this looks like it could be getting pushed down here. Down to 6,900. There's another 100 points down potentially right here. Or 200 points, I should say. Sorry. Yeah, 200 points down potentially right here. If this can't hold. That should be our first hour full discount extension. If we look at, let me flip this guy over to daily. And that's going to be weekly level also here. Just above or just under fair value high on the weekly. This is our New York session low right here. Just pushing. Coming up to that overnight low, that 27,040. Oil coming up. Let's see where we're at over here on S&P. Here is our overnight low, just tagging that here at 40. Really close to that, or 36 I should say, for being precise. Few buyers stepping in. See if this buys itself back up here a little bit. Not quite on ES, didn't quite hit it. Little dead cat bounce there. Still pushing a little bit here. Not a lot of buyers stepping in right here. I always like these double bottoms. They're usually pretty nice, but we'll see. This could sweep a little. There we go. There's some buyers stepping in. Break over 80. We should see a little pop here, potentially. There we go. Over 80 there. Let's see if we get over 115 as the next stop up. This is the back of that bottom of that OR, so could hit its head here, being that, and then just some sellers stepping in is what it looks like on Bookmap. But if it eats through them, very well could. We will be coming into profit taking here in a little bit. So, you know, with that, that's where I like to see some of these reversals. You know, ideally here, I'm not sure if I'm going to take it, honestly, after taking those cuts. But we'd see this come down to this 64 area and bounce ideally. So we just came to that halfway back. This is where I'd like to see a bounce here. Push up to that 114, 120 area. We break 110, there's room up to 200 then. As of right now, there'll be some more sellers stepping in, I'm sure, at this 30 area. Buyers stepping in here. See if we can break this 100. Would be a nice push there. Next would be to break that 15. Do have sellers stepping in right here, and that is that fib target from this pullback, so not too surprised with that. Let's see our next leg up, what that would look like here. Come down and retest that 78 area. That would be a nice fib pullback to continue. Problem is we just hit the 21 EMA, kind of coming down back into that OR, bottom of it, coming back down. ES never took out its lows, so I'm not confident in this enough to just jump in looking for that reversal. I mean, that was a nice little 70-point move right there. I'm not absolutely in love with the setup right here, honestly. Not to say there's room both ways. Right here. Break over this 100 again, there's definitely room up. The next stop would be that 130. Just running off fibs. We did hit our first hour on full discount also. But with these moves we've been getting, there's, like I said, there really is room down another 200 points right now. I'll wick up and smack down pretty quick. She's moving quick right now, that's for sure. Gotta hold this 50 area if we're gonna not just keep walking our way down. Otherwise, yeah, there is room down to 30, 15, and then right to the flat 27,000. We do have buyers sitting here though. See if ES wants to tag its lows. We're almost there on NQ again at 36. It's only 10 points away from that. She gave up that 50. Overnight lows on NQ getting tagged. Let's see if we can get there on ES. VIX just kind of in this little bit of a range. I mean, it is coming up here this last candle, but there we go with ES tagging its overnight lows. Get that first deviation on ES right there. First deviation on NQ. Lots of selling pressure here. So there's your 27.15 JL. Like perfectly. Dun, 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 dun. Sweep of that low over on ES. Let's see if we got buyers. We got some buyers stepping in here. You know, you could almost, if you're strictly looking for like a double bottom thing, you kind of take this. We've got buyers sitting right at 27, so you could do like a 40-point stop loss. You grab it and pray. I would rather see us come up a little, get a pullback, and then go. But sometimes we don't get that and it just goes straight up. We break 50 and this got some room up. So alright, there's that 50. So here, potential, let's see, is that our little pullback? That is, so I'm going to tag in just 2 here. Get these stops in case we knife down. If we break through 60, there's a lot of room all the way up to 125 here. This yellow line I got, it's our checker flag. We're coming into that profit taking time here, so I like that. There's ES with its nice little pullback. Not loving that. Got room. We got a lot of buyers sitting here at that 27. So there, I mean, there are buyers stepping in. There we go. All right. Let's say got some buyers stepping in here. That was a crazy candle right there. this next one gives us. Got to break through that 65. We swept right up to that 63, so it's a 65 that's holding us right here. It's a nice little 50 pullback off of that move. See if she can push through this 65 for us. There we go. Come on. Right to 90. That's the next stop. We got to break through 70. Then we're going straight to 90. That fib target right there, and that last little move down. Came to 76. I got that first one at 79. I'm gonna take it here. At 73. That's that fib target. I'm gonna move my stop to 727. Got buyers sitting at 50. We are at full discount on the first hour levels here. Super discount levels on the daily. And this is when we start to see profit taking here. So if we get a nice push up, we could have a pretty nice runner that we can hold a good part of the day, especially if we get some room on this guy. Which would be nice, get us back to break even on the day after those paper cuts, and I will be happy with that. So this thing, it does have room, especially if we break this 100 right here. There's room. All right, moving stops to break even here. Let's move our stops to 70, 69, 70 area. There's busting through that 100. Next is going to be 125. Let's just trail this a little bit more. Just try a little bit more here. Break through that 25 and there's room. Keep trailing here a little bit. That buyer's sitting at 100. I'm okay with the 100 test. That's why I've got mine at 93. If you test 100 and keep going, that's fine. Bottom of OR. If it breaks that, could see some downward. I don't want to give all that back. But if we break 25, there's room. See if we can get back up towards first hour fair value. May get tagged here. If we do, I'm going to call it there for the day. So we'll be all right with that. So, yep, that is where I'm going to call it today. So this realistically here is just going to do a little pullback. I'd like to see how this reacts at the 70 area. It's our halfway back. It's EMAs right here. So kind of see how that goes, and you could catch it again. I'm going to call it good on the day. Down just a little bit on these accounts. Other accounts are up from some stuff I did pre-market. So personally flat on the day. The live account that I've been trading with y'all is down just a little bit today. But we can get that back with 50, 60 points on one micro. So I'm not too awful worried about it, but it's kind of where I'm at with that right now. I'm still leaning towards this going up. I know I've got a personal bias right now, and so that's why I think it's best, at least for me, to shut it down. But I do see this retracing. So, you know, there's room up, at least from what I'm seeing here. So, a lot of days before Fed we chopped though, and I wouldn't be surprised if we come back up towards just kind of this first hour fair value and then just kind of chop in this 200 area here. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But if I take anything else and see anything like really good, I'll alert it out on the channel. I know yesterday I took one and I lost 2 points on ES, and you know, if there's something good that's a really nice R to R, we'll take it, and I'll do my best to post it. So usually I enter and then I post. So yeah, see if we can get anything a little bit later today. But yeah, is there anything anybody wants to go over, or otherwise I'll catch you all tomorrow. Awesome. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one.